Okay, so I'm doing a video on two power supplies. One that I've made, one that I've purchased. I've had this one quite a few years now. This is a 12 volt jump starter battery pack that just plugs into there with some big massive jump leads. And it's a 40 amp hour. It's quite good. It's got a built-in DC AC inverter in the back. Gives you 12 volt outlets as well there. It's fairly basic, doesn't really do very much other than start your car and give you 12 volt outlet. One of the problems is that it's quite a big bulky thing, and for me, when I do a lot of my radio work, when I'm portable, I like to have quite a few different 12 volt outlets. I like to be able to have different adapters and use it for different things. And with this, you'd have to carry separately a bag with all your various leads and adapters in, which became a bit of a nightmare. I wanted to make something a bit more versatile. I wanted to make this easy to charge up using solar panels as well, which would mean you'd have got to plug in a separate charger controller, and it became a bit of a pain. So it wasn't as practical as you'd think. What I decided to do was to make my own. And what I've done, I've taken the batteries out of there, the lead acid batteries, and I've put them into this toolbox. This is a Black & Decker, it's a fairly cheap little toolbox. Lifting it up, I've put two 12 volt outlet little power pole adapters in the top there. I've got a charger controller, and I've made a little, if you can see that, a little kind of shelf which has got some more gubbins on. What I'm going to do is to bring the camera in closer and you'll have a better look and you'll see what I mean. Okay, so this isn't finished yet. It is a bit of a practice run just to try out a few different things. So the wiring, it's not complete. It's not got the right size cabling inside, which you'll see shortly. But what I wanted was to have the main battery pack this sort of size with a good handle, and it's fairly strong anyway. I wanted easy access to these 12 volt adapters here. These are the little 30 amp power poles that I use. All my radio equipment and all my accessories for camping all use these sort of sockets. These are important, and these are the ones that I use the most with me VHF, UHF radios. I wanted also to have these 12 volt cigarette outlets, and also there's a little USB, two USB outputs there, which are quite handy for charging obviously USB devices. I've got another one of these which is going to be mounted just to the top here to give me another 12 volts. And I think the one I've got has actually got two 12 volts, so there should be two 12 volt adapters there. I'm going to put another couple of these power pole adapters along this side as well. Well, basically what we've got is that this charge control unit here is connected obviously to the batteries. This power pole adapter here is where you plug in the solar panel, which I'm going to show you later. This power pole cable here, this one goes straight to the battery, so it bypasses this controller. So if I want to plug in a separate DC to AC inverter, I can plug it straight into there without it taking all the power from the inverter. This, I believe, I think this is a 20 amp controller, so you don't get that much power coming out. So if I'm going to take a lot of power, then that's what I'm going to plug it into. All these other outlets here are controlled via this charger controller. So it's also something that sometimes I might not be using this for a long time. So I've got a main isolator switch here for the battery. So it's not going to be, this isn't going to be drawing power from the battery for long periods of time when it's not being used. So I'll just switch it on there, and then this is just coming to life now. So I'll just give it a moment. It's just registering that the fact that there's a battery connected, and it's now saying that it's found it, it's turned green. This is an on and off button here that I use. I don't use the timer facility in here to turn appliances on and off. I like it to be constantly on or constantly off. I don't want it taking over. So if I press that, I'll turn it on. This little blue lit LCD screen is the voltage. It's telling me I'm exactly 13 volts at the moment, which is quite good. It's been on charge most of the morning, so I'm happy with that. What I'm going to do eventually is put in a little 240 volt socket here. So inside this box will be a DC to AC inverter, but that's something that's going to be following shortly. So like I said, this is just a practice run at the moment, but I have used it quite a lot, funnily enough. but the wiring's not really up to scratch inside, but I'm going to show you anyway. So I'll just pull this up, this little homemade tray, and inside, this is basically what we've got. Let me bring the camera in closer. So these are the 12 volts outlets there, the USB, the main isolator switch, and these are the two batteries that I'm using. So there's two 12 volt, 20 amp hour each, these batteries are, and I've used a fairly smallish cable on these. Like I say, when I was building this, it was more of a trial experiment than anything else. And I didn't have the correct size cable that I needed, and I was very keen to get it up and running and to give it a try, so I just used this cable that I've been sort of having lying around. And I've actually drawn quite a lot of current from this, and I've actually felt it getting warm, which is obviously a danger sign really, because you don't want to warm up cables when you're using them. But it's just worked so well so far. There's plenty of space inside here if I wanted to add on like the inverter that I was talking about, which we mounted on here, and then, you know, possibly a few more outlets as well, 12 volt outlets. So that fits in quite nicely and holds itself in. Now, there's always going to be occasions where you don't have enough outlets if you're going to be using various different appliances. With the two there, there's going to be another additional two, and then you've got the cigarette lighters there, and then that one, like I say, to the main battery. But still, sometimes you need a bit more power. So in here, I've got this. It's basically a little unit with four 12 volt outlets in, which connects via the power poles. This side, that's just an adapter that will convert the one to give me the two. That will give me the 12 volt outlet to the cigarette to two more buddy poles, or power poles rather. And then here we've just got 12 volt cigarette plug to plug. That means I can charge this unit straight from the cigarette lighter in the car if I'm out and about. And that's what we have. I've cut a little groove in there, which the wire that plugs into there for solar panel will just come out of there. Small groove at the front there also for any power cables coming out, which means I can then close this whilst it's in operation being used, and keep the lid nice, firm and tight. And that's it. Just to show you quickly, these are the solar panels I'm using at the moment. They're portable-ish, they're 12 volts, 100 watt in total, 50 watt panel, 50 watt, mounted at the back in parallel. I'll give you a proper video tour of these in a little while. I just wanted to get this first one done first of all on the main power supply. That's just got a power pole connector at the back that just plugs straight into the power supply. So like I say, I'll give you another video very soon showing and demonstrating. I've seen quite a few people post videos using the same sort of principle as this, using sort of toolboxes and batteries inside. So obviously there's a lot of people doing it. So if anyone out there has got any experience or has got any tips and advice that they want to give and to share, then please feel free to do so. I'm also mindful of the fact that I could take these two sealed lead acid batteries out and put in like a marine battery or something. So you've got that room for expansion inside. It's something that's very useful. I use this more than I ever use this. And like I say, for me to have this, these amount of outlets, you'd have a lot of things hanging down and getting in the way, and nothing would be very sort of permanent or that reliable. So I just felt this was a much better way of doing it. And to be honest, I've used it quite a few times, even though I wasn't going to use it properly until I rewired. However, it's just been a really useful device. Once I've got the wiring done inside, it'll be a lot more practical for the heavier powered things. So we'll give it a go. We'll see. Hopefully over the next sort of few days. I've got a bit of time off work at the moment, so I should be able to get this sorted and have a bit of a play. So thanks for watching. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be posting the video with the solar panels and this all connected, and maybe some radio work as well going on, all kind of using it all together. We'll have a look. We'll have to see what happens. Okay. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.